Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and appreciate you guys swinging by the channel and spending some of your day with me. We are going to be talking about the insanity, the complete insanity of $6,500 entry fees for tournaments, $5,000 entry fees for tournaments, how bass fishing is becoming a completely elitist sport on the top level. And then I sort of want to give you guys some feedback on what I think that can be done to help this situation out and reverse the trend. Definitely curious to get your guys' feedback on it as well in today's episode. Also, guys, a couple quick things for get started here daily. Thank you very much for everybody that's taken time to hit that subscribe button here at Intuitive Angling. Good way to support the channel. It's free and easy. Really helps the channel out a lot. Also, guys, if you want to go to the next level to help Intuitive Angling, you can be a channel member. And channel members get private videos every week that aren't seen by the public, along with my email address, where you can email me your personal fishing questions and I'll answer them. So just go to my YouTube homepage, hit the join button for information there. And guys, one real quick thing, you probably heard me talking about this. I just want to show you guys, if you guys are looking for a really good bait cast reel for a presents for this Christmas or for yourself, guys, check out this Lews Custom Pro here. This thing is freaking awesome. 11 ball bearings. It's one of the smoothest reels I have ever felt in my life. Super, super smooth. Big star drag system. Got a great braking system on it. I'll put this Custom Pro reel link and my Tackle Warehouse link in the description if you guys would like to check it out there. And finally, anybody interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me, we're getting our jerkbait lessons lined out. Shoot me a private message at my Facebook page, Randy Blockett Professional Angler. I'll get you the details for that. So much appreciated you guys putting up with the plugs. I know it's a hassle every day, but thank you very much for people that are listening to that. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the entry fees for the Bass Pro Tour this year are $6,500, $6,500 to enter one tournament. I think the NPFLs, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're $5,500 or $5,800. Guys, when we have reached a level in the sport where it's truly becoming an elitist sport. I mean, because let's examine the reality of this cost here. Let's say you're looking at paying a $6,500 entry fee for the Bass Pro Tour, or even a $5,500 entry fee, something like that. Okay, so you've got, I don't know, 6 or 8 tournaments or wherever they have. You've got that entry fee. And then depending upon where the tournament's going to be at, you're going to have anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 in expenses, depending upon how far you drive and where you stay at. And anymore, guys, back when I was fishing at the top level, we would roll into town. We would find the cheapest rat-infested motel we could, usually $30 a night, and we'd have 3 or 4 guys sleeping on the floor. Now these dudes all the guys that are fishing the top level, they freaking book $3,000 Airbnbs and stay at the freaking Hampton Inn. Nobody roughs it like we used to. So anyway, you're going to have $2,000 to $3,000, in your expenses for the trip. Plus then you got all your incidentals, you got your tolls, you got your tackle you have to buy for the tournament. I'm not even including the boat part of it, your boat payment, boat insurance. So I think it's safe to say that you're going to be knocking on the door of anywhere between, I don't know, $8,000 to $10,000 in expenses every freaking tournament before you even make a check, or if you even make a check. Okay, so let's say, for example, you get hit a dry spell, which everybody's going to. I don't care who you are, guys. You can be on the top of the world, but you're going to hit a dry spell. Everybody does. And you go 2 or 3 tournaments or whatever, and you don't make a check. So now you're in the hole $30,000, $40,000 for the season, and the only way that you can recoup that is to win a tournament. So on top of that, you pay your $5,000 or $6,000 entry fee or whatever. So it's pretty much, it's going to cost you about $100,000 to fish. Well, before you even make a cast, it's going to cost you $80,000 to $100,000 at the top level. And then you got to take care of your family. You got most people have a mortgage to pay. They got insurances. They got car payments. They got food they got to buy. They got to put clothes on their kids' back. They got to do all that. Where in the world does this money come from? How many people have over $100,000 worth of money to put in a tournament, plus all their other staff they have to pay. Because I can tell you guys, the sponsorships are not there like they used to be. If you're one of the dudes out there that are getting your entries and expenses taken care of at that level, you are in the 1%. Those deals have evaporated ever since the advent of social media and YouTube. Fishing companies and companies are not putting their money into tournament fishing or tournaments. They're putting it into social media influencers. So effectively what this has done is when you have these massive entry fees, it goes back to what I've been preaching this for 5 years now, that tournament bass fishing at the top level is an elitist sport. And then even if you have something like the Bassmaster Elite Series, who used to have a $5,000 entry fee, and now they've cut it back, they made it cheaper, the entry fees, but that money's got to come from somewhere. They rob it out of the opens or whatever. It's got to come. It just doesn't, or from the electronic companies, I don't know. But the thing about it is the average dude can't do it. And this is what sucks about pro fishing today, because I always refer back to my situation about how when I started, it was the ideal situation. Because back when I first started, all you had was 6 Bassmaster Invitationals. That was the pro circuit. There wasn't any other pro circuit. Bassmaster Tournament Trail, 6 tournaments. That's what Clun, that's what Nixon, Hank Parker, everybody fished. $600 entry fee per tournament. Okay, they took the top 35 to the Classic, and those were the pros. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. Bassmaster Tournament Trail, top 35 at the end of the year, went to the Bassmaster Classic. Somebody like myself that didn't have any money, I worked for 3 years mowing grass, washing dishes, doing anything I could to save up enough money, and I saved up $6,000 over a course of 3 years, and that paid me to fish. I had enough money that I saved up that I could pay my entry fees and expenses to the Bassmaster Tournament Trail that year. And fortunately, I won money in 6 out of the 7 tournaments and qualified for the Bassmaster Classic my rookie year. But I did it and I didn't have any money. You can't do that now. Let's say, for example, you scraped up enough money to fish the open circuit, which is very tough to do because that costs a lot of money too. You're 20 years old, you've had whatever family help you through the opens, and now all of a sudden, or Bass Pro Tour or whatever, now all of a sudden you're at the top level, you're at the $5,000, $6,000 entry fee. It is impossible for the normal 20-year-old guy like I was 22, 23 years old when I started my first year. It's impossible for the average 22 or 23-year-old angler to accumulate that kind of money where they can plop down $100,000 to fish a tournament circuit in 2025 versus $6,000 back when I did it in 1986. So effectively, dudes like myself have been weeded out. And it's only the dudes that come from money. They have family money, they own businesses, whatever it is, that are able to get started. And that's why the transformation of the sport is pretty much complete into an elitist activity. Now, I'm not saying there's not a couple guys out there that freaking sleep in the back of their truck and they've somehow came up with $100,000 entry fee. I don't know how that is. Maybe they got somebody that owned a construction company wanted to sponsor them or something like that. That does happen. Then that's an exception to the rule. But anymore, it's like a lot of things in life. It's like politics and business and whatever. It's who you know, it's how connected you are to the money that is going to pave avenues for you. And this is the fundamental thing that is just totally effed up right now about tournament fishing, is the fact that it is turned into an elitist sport at the top level. Now, let's say, for example, imagine you were a great college football player and you got drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs or something like that. But in order to play the game, you had to pony up a $10,000 entry fee every game to play, or you couldn't play. That is the thing that is screwed up about bass fishing versus other sports, is the fact that it's pay to play, and it's basically tournament anglers are nothing but customers to these tournament organizations. That's what they are. And that's one of the things that until we get some type of organizations instituted that are nonprofit organizations, it's always going to be like this. Because If we had a big nonprofit organization that like ran Bassmaster, they wouldn't have the overhead or have to pay staff or have to have profit as a business to generate profit. And that money could be put back into perpetuating the sport and allowing people that don't have money to rise to that level. And now it's impossible to do that. So it's just another one of the things, guys. We have a tremendous amount of dysfunction and challenges in the sport of professional fishing right now, and I hate it because, like I said, it does discriminate against lower income or even middle income anglers in this country right now. If you're one of the anglers out there that have risen to the top level of the professional circuit over the past 5 years without family assistance and family money and some type of independent wealth, you are in the tiny minority of people to do that, because the majority are not. It's all about money. Money is just, the more that I watch money's influence in politics and business in our daily life, it's like money corrupts everything. It does. Money freaking corrupts everything. And until we can have a society, whether it be in tournament fishing or whatever, where money does not influence the outcome of events and how, people are successful or not, we're never going to move forward as a society in the human experience here. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think about it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll check in later.